How's it going? Tobin back in the den for a shave and a review of the latest Shave Dad collaboration. That's Jerry Plessy, the Shave Dad himself, and Frank at Straight Gold Shave. They've come together to give us Knockout. A little bit of information. You want a fun fact? Remember Mike Tyson's Punch-Out? I know my Gen X viewers do. Before we had Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, it was in the arcades, and it was called Punch-Out. Just before they brought it to the arcades, it was actually called Knockout. So when I first heard that this soap was coming, I immediately thought of it. Something I've never really talked about in my previous videos. In high school, I was a boxer. Got Muhammad Ali on my shirt here. If we have time, I might talk a little bit about my boxing experience in high school. And other than that, let's get our shave on. So I'm going to be starting it off with the mentholated pre-shave. And this, I keep them in my little cubes that I made. And for some reason, this mentholated one, the little rubber stoppers always like to stick to it. I have shaved with this 3 times now. This will be my 4th shave. This base, I noticed, this will be the first time for me anyways. It looks like Frank has done one extra ingredient with this. His soap base now has aloe vera. And the last soap I got from him was the 3-Ring Circus. That was also a Shave Dad collaboration. He's also sent me, I did not pay for Knockout, and I did not pay for the pack, and I have the soap and splash of that. Right now, the pack is out of stock, but I plan to have a review for you guys in sync with that. So keep an eye out for that review if you're curious to know my thoughts on the pack. I haven't shaved with it yet, but I have worn it on the back of my hands. I have worn this on the back of my hand 3 days in a row, today being the 4th day. Alexis gives it a 7, that's my wife, and Emily gives it a 6. Now, talking with my wife, she says that this is a citrusy but soft, classic type fragrance. Not old school, but not modern, somewhere in between. So that's how my wife describes the fragrance. My Smiles for Miles scoop, one of my favorite scoops to use. Had this guy for years now. I'm going to be whipping that up with a silver tip Badger, a Semogue something or other ultra high dense. Got that soaking in my Boba Fett. Love this knot. Don't want to squeeze out too much water, I'm going to need it. Luna is in here with us. She's down here laying on the floor. For those who are new to my content, that is my German Shepherd. She's actually there on the logo of Opulence Harbinger. That's my collaboration that's dropping on September 3rd. Knockout is currently available at Straight Gold Shave. Something that is super cool is Frank has offered right now for everyone watching this video. Just like before, he did it with 3-Ring Circus for a week. For everyone watching until September 3rd, Tuesday, September 3rd, if you use my name, all lowercase, no capitals, at checkout, free shipping. Normally, the minimum threshold for shipping is $50, but right now, free shipping, doesn't matter how much you spend, just in the promo code box, just like they're on my screenshot. Just put my name, all lowercase letters, and you will get free shipping. For me, I tested it out earlier just to make sure it was working. Frank asked me to, and I put a tub of soap in there that was what, $23.99, right? And the shipping was $8.50, and so that's one hell of a deal. That's like, you know, a third off if that's all you're buying is a tub of soap. So that's one hell of a deal. His soap base is killer. Tallow, goat's milk. It's full of the good stuff. I'll have it up there on the screen for you. I've always enjoyed his base. This new edition of aloe vera. So I have not asked Frank, and I've been trying to figure out if I notice any real difference. So far in the lather, it still seems to lather the way that I expect his soap to lather, which is gorgeous. You'll see that here in a second. I'll make sure I show it to you before I put it on the face because I have the cube up there. This is just going to work into even bigger, more beautiful lather. Frank's base is killer. If you've ever used it, you know it. And so far, like I said, with the addition of the aloe vera, I have not noticed any real difference. Not even with the post shave. So I'll have to ask Frank, and maybe that's something that we'll talk about this Sunday. September 1st, Frank is joining me for a live shave here on my YouTube channel. I'm recording this on Thursday evening, but I'm going to upload it on Friday. So happy Friday to everyone watching this on upload day, publish day. Let's talk about the fragrance. So Frank Misa, 4 p.m. this Sunday, September 1st. That's Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. And I was going to say, I forgot to mention too, after September 3rd, there will be a new code, and that free shipping code will be permanent for members of my channel. Thank you, Frank. I am working with artisans for more member exclusives, and so far I got something that I'm going to be sharing with you guys with Pete, and this here with Frank, and I have other things in the work that will be members exclusive. Like I said, it is kind of a cash grab, but I don't want it to feel like a cash grab. I want you guys to feel like you're getting your money's worth. And so I have all kinds of things that I'm actually trying to put in. And all you gotta do is sign up for that membership, $1.99, $4.90 for the brush fund. It's $1.99, $4.99 for the razor fund. And that $1.99 will get you into the membership, and it will get you in with those exclusives, including the exclusive giveaways. We've already done a few exclusive giveaways to members only. All right, so now, for real, the fragrance. This is the... Nope, I lied. This is the razor, and it is the Holy Black SR-71. That is the straight bar. So anyways, this was a gift to me from Clinton Conley, an old friend of mine who passed away. I love this razor. In the top, grapefruit, Granny Smith apple, bergamot, and mandarin orange. In the middle, we run into apple again, but no Granny Smith about it. Oh, I forgot my mirror right down here. In the middle, we have apple again, and then ice cream. Make sure that the mirror is not blocking you guys. Ice cream, rosemary, and pink pepper. In the base, we have amberwood, vanilla, and musk. So, I agree with what my wife said, but let me see if I can break it down and share with you my thoughts on it. I would give this easily an 8 overall, and I would give it a 10 for uniqueness. This is a fragrance that Frank developed himself. He created the fragrance, is my understanding, and it's extremely unique. Now, I do agree with everything that she said, including the not quite old school and not quite modern. It's definitely in a league of its own. Now, get my rinse bowl over here to my left. Apply a little bit more water. Probably should give this another squirt too. And we're not done with 2K subscriber giveaways yet either, guys, either. So we start off with that grapefruit, and it is this tart citrus. The whole opening is very citrusy. You have that Granny Smith apple, the bergamot, and the mandarin orange. So you get the tartness, the citrusy tartness of the grapefruit. Immediately at the same time, you're getting this juicy green tartness from the Granny Smith apple, followed by bergamot, which is known as the Prince of Citrus, and it is a beautiful citrus note. that you find in the top of this. The mandarin orange, I believe, is what's kind of kicking this up to a lively, sweet citrus. It is a knockout of citrus in the beginning. Not too much. It's not like a big citrus bomb or anything like that. But it is a very lively, tart, but at the same time sweet citrus opening. That doesn't last for too long, 20 minutes or so. The citrus does remain. It doesn't really go away, even through the dry down. When we get into the middle, I can't quite place what that other apple is doing, other than I think maybe it's just kind of helping to carry with it like a juiciness. Ice cream is the first fantasy note in this scent profile, and I think that's where the softness is coming from that my wife was describing. Did I mention that my wife talked about a softness? I don't think I did. I might have. A softness and this creamy sweetness. Ice cream itself, when we smell it, doesn't have a smell, and that's because the chemicals that trigger the human olfactory sensors are frozen in the ice cream. So when we smell ice cream, it doesn't really have a smell, even though it's always full of flavor, right? And that's the reason why it doesn't have a smell, because literally those chemicals that the nose would normally pick up are frozen within the ice cream. So I think that's what it is doing, though. It's adding the softness. It's taming down those citruses that are up above it, kind of like acting like a sponge. It's absorbing it and softening it down, and at the same time adding this creaminess. Now, the rosemary, it's hard to pick out exactly what it's doing because it's also backed up with that pink pepper. And what I believe it's doing is it's slightly spicy, and then like a hint of mint, to where you're almost getting like a mint ice cream. And I believe that is what is going on right there in the middle. Is it's slightly spicy and a little minty, And then you have that pink pepper, and this is like a spicy, peppery, fruity pink pepper. That brings us down into the base, and in the base we find that amberwood, and amberwood is the second fantasy note. And by fantasy note, just like with the ice cream, I mean a fragrance that doesn't actually exist in nature. So it's a fantasy note, and that's because there is no such thing as amberwood. It's a fragrance created, in the mind of man, so to speak. It's got to be doing woody and warm, because as you come down into this middle and into the base is where the fragrance really transforms from the citrus knockout to what was the fragrance I was talking about the other day, where I said it was not a gourmand. This is not a gourmand, but like I said, there's Coors Light and there's like Diet Coke. This is like a diet gourmand in a way. It's not a gourmand. I would not classify this as a gourmand. So this is a fragrance that you could tell that Frank was really working hard at, and there's nothing like it in my den. So it's like a woody, warm, ambery, woody note that kicks off this base, and that brings us down into the vanilla. Now, let's do a third pass up here. Let's just do a third pass real quick. The vanilla, so like Opulence Harbinger, there is a vanilla-ness to the entire fragrance. With this, though, this vanilla is like a creamy caramel, rich and deep. And yes, caramel is a note that can be found in vanillas. I believe that is where this like caramely sweetness is coming from. Maybe it's coming from the amberwood, but there is like this caramely, creamy, rich, deep vanilla undertone in the base. And then that runs us right into the musk, which is the final note in the scent profile. Now, I don't really pick out any musk notes. The musk that is in this, I would have to classify it as like a white musk, a clean musk, a light musk. And if anything, I think it's working with the amberwood and the vanilla as a fixative. And by fixative, I mean a fragrance, a note that makes the fragrance last longer. That's what a fixative is. Fixatives are notes that you put in a fragrance that can sometimes be detected, but at the same time, it's not uncommon for them to not be detectable, if that makes sense. This is one of those fragrances that the sum is bigger than the whole. When I shave off camera, I'm a cheek puffer. When I'm not yapping my gums. The performance of his base, of Frank's base at Strike Gold, is just killer. The residual slickness, the glide, all of it. All right, in 2 seconds, I'll go rinse. Maybe. All right, I'm back. Now, the splash, you can get it with or without menthol. The bottle that Frank sent me, remember I did not pay for the soap or splash, that Frank sent me does have the menthol, and it's got a nice menthol kick. I would say, if 5 is average, it's like a solid 6. It's not too much, but it's a nice dose of menthol. At the very least, a good solid 5. I don't consider myself a menth head. There's some guys that just are super crazy about menthol. I love menthol, especially this time of year. Today we had a high of like 94, and so I really look forward to menthol in the summer, but I don't use it a whole lot in the winter. Yeah, it's got a good menthol kick. It's kicking in again right now. Did I say this is my 4th shave with it? No, it's a good solid 6. It's a little stronger than average. So if you don't want the menthol, though, you can get it without menthol. It's still in stock. He has a handful of things that are out of stock right now, but he's working on getting them stocked. Keep in mind, that there is a lot of things out of stock right now, and that is because Frank has a day job. Straight Gold Shave is a side thing of his. It is a hobby kind of thing, kind of like like a lot of artisans are in this community. A lot of the artisans in this community, the vast majority of the artisans in this community, shave soap is not their main source of income. I want to thank you guys for joining me. I do highly recommend this. Remember, like all the Shave Dad collaborations, they are one and done. They are limited stock. You can't go wrong with anything at Straight Gold Shave. Frank joins me this Sunday, September 1st at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. There is the replay available. In case you aren't able to make it there with us live, there's going to be some giveaways, so be there for that. And I'll also have some giveaways for the replay too, so don't feel like you have to be there. I hate that. With lives, I'm trying to find ways of avoiding that, and I think I have some ways in mind of doing that, because I know that it's Labor Day weekend. Not everybody can be there, but at the same time, I want to encourage people to get there for a giveaway, but at the same time, do a giveaway for people who can't be there, but can watch it in a relatively short amount of time afterwards. So I'll announce the winner of that like a week later, giving people plenty of time to actually see it. Whatever you do this Labor Day weekend, be safe. It's the little big things. Take your time, slow down, don't drive too fast. Look out for the crazies. They're out there. I know I'm one of them. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks again, Frank. Thank you, Jerry.